Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back. I'm Hayden, this is Nowhere Comics, and today we are walking through important cities in my comics. So without further ado, let's get started. Nowhere Comics take place in the 51st state, Nowhere. It's small and most people don't know it exists. The capital of Nowhere is called Nothing, and it's placed in the exact center of Nowhere. It's a pretty average city. It's bright and bustling, filled with businesses, both big and small. It largely consists of office buildings with some small shops and restaurants that are sprinkled throughout. Most of the housing in Nothing is in apartments and condos with some smaller neighborhoods on the outskirts. And there's, some fight clubs, muggings, robberies, just normal crime stuff. And this is where my first character, the Duck, has made his home. And here it is. This is what it looks like for you guys. Alright, next up is Mediocreville. Mediocreville is a more rural town filled with farms and larger spread out homes with some mobile homes and smaller suburbs placed closer to the schools. There's a small downtown area with some businesses like the big science, tech, and research company TK Inc. There's also some offices, diners, and fast food places. There's some local grocery stores and antique stores. There's not a very high crime rate, but large companies keep trying to move in and develop. Some small gangs are moving in too. There's a fairgrounds that gets used for a lot of local events like rodeos, carnivals, and the International Carrot Day Festival, which is a big thing for them. Third, we have the city of Lee Talbot. Talbot is a bit more on the industrial side. There's a lot of blue-collar workers there. There's barely any desk jobs. A lot of it is middle-class housing with a little variation. No one very rich or poor. There's some more open crime to the point that the small stuff tends to go unnoticed. One of the things that really sets them apart is the collective view of weirdos. And what is a weirdo, you may be asking? A weirdo is someone born with an alternate gene that grants them some form of special ability. The majority of weirdos have a slight increase to all their normal capabilities, plus something extra, each one unique to the person, differing based on the rest of their biology. Most places have a distrust of weirdos, and that's where Talbot is a bit more extreme. They have an open hatred of weirdos. This leads to weirdos being very private about their abilities so they can have a fair shot at getting jobs, promotions, the works. And fourth on the list is Abbott Half. Abbott Half is a more residential city, most of the revenue consisting of plazas, restaurants, stores, etc. There's some condos and luxury apartments, medium to large size houses, some suburbs and whatnot. Just offshore in Nowhere Lake, you have Deadly Island, home of the owners of Deadly Furniture, the largest furniture company in the state. The Deadleys put a lot of money into the city, including the new boardwalk being built for festivals and circuses and celebrations, other things of the sort. They also donate to charities and have helped with the progression of a lot of recreational things in the city, such as theaters, bowling alleys, mini golf, stuff like that. Then there's Somewhat. Somewhat is a city that's nice during the day, but you don't want to be out after dark. You'll get mugged just walking to your car. The criminals here are more on the basic side, just a little crazy, and they're all opportunists. The homes range from trailer parks to gated communities, depending on if you're in the nicer or shadier sections of the city. This city is also home to the somewhat prestigious Academy, which, as the name says, is a prestigious school. Pumas have a heavy influence on the architecture here, which is noticeable in the statues and gargoyles because they are all shaped like pumas. And there's a few factories and warehouses, some small labs, mostly owned by some fancy companies and subject to some shady business deals. Lastly, we have the worst place to live in the state of Nowhere, Relabad. This is the slums, bursting at the seams with gangs, violence, theft, all that jazz, no matter what time of day. There's little to no upkeep anywhere. There's more people here that are corrupt than there are innocent. Seeing as it's so dangerous that even the squirrels are likely to kidnap you, you can't even cross a street safely in broad daylight. It's at a point where the higher you are socially, the higher you are physically too. The people with more money live in the higher floors of buildings, and that's where things get nice, at least on the surface level. So what the rich and even the middle class have done to avoid touching ground level as much as possible is build catwalks between almost every building. This keeps them safer from the very high population of poor and homeless. Even a lot of stores and restaurants are on top floors or at least close to it. So that's the most notable cities and towns of our 51st state. Which are you most excited to see in the long run? Let me know in the comments. Please be sure to like and subscribe and be on the lookout for more content. Thanks for watching. Bye.